So I want to take a look here at a clip from the facility earlier today with LaShawn McCoy, Emmanuel Acho, James Jones, and Chase Daniel. And former Packer legend, wide receiver, James Jones, who I loved watching in a Packer uniform. He gives his thoughts and his take on this upcoming game and what he thinks could go down. So let's give a listen and hear what James Jones had to say.
I know Shady,
better coach.
Shady don't really watch the Packers, but he watches the Philadelphia Eagles a lot.
Of course.
Just like I watch the Eagles. Hold on. I watch the Eagles a little bit, but I don't watch them as much as I watch my Packers. I'm not saying you don't watch the Packers.
I bet on them.
That's what I'm saying.
I've lost money with y'all.
You know what I'm saying? All I'm saying is, right, and let's just look at some of this, right? Because we talk upset alert because we think how dominant the Eagles are, right? That's why we like upset alert. Sounds crazy. You know what I'm saying? The Eagles average 27 points a game, right? 367 yards a game. So 27 points a game, that's 7th in the National Football League. Yards per game, 367, that's 8th. Right? That's a top 10 offense. Red zone, they're 13th right now. That's a really good offense. The Packers offense, 28 points a game, 370 yards a game. All right? Red zone, they rank number 10. That's a pretty good offense.
That's true.
Right?
That's true.
Maybe on paper, a little bit better offense, right? But that's on paper. All right?
It sounds better.
It is true. You can look at those stats. Packers have been slightly better for the most part all season long. But I do think that in most people's minds is the past two games, Bears game, Vikings game, wasn't the greatest of performances, even though in that Vikings game, the Packers did almost come back and lost by 2. If the defense could have gotten one more stop, we could be having a different type of conversation at this time about the Packers and their offense. But the real thing I'm wondering in this game is what Packers offense is going to show up. Is it going to be that offense that before those games, Vikings game, Bears game, where they put up 30-plus points in 5 games? Or are we going to see the Packers offense that made a lot of silly mistakes, penalties, fumbles, tons of miscues? Which offense is going to show up against the Philadelphia Eagles? Personally, I think the Packers play well when they're the underdog, like they did last year against the Dallas Cowboys. I think Jordan Love, when he is put in a tough spot, I think he really comes to play at another level. That's why in some of these games, second half, down 2 scores, he plays free, plays loose. And I'm leaning towards seeing more of the Packers offense we saw earlier in the season and not the struggles we saw the past couple weeks. That's where I'm leaning at this time.
Defensively, okay, because they do have a big-time defense. That's why we believe they are Super Bowl contenders, because of the big-time defense, right? The Eagles' defense, right? Let's go to the Eagles' defense. 17 points a game, all right? That's ranked number 2 in the National Football League. 278 yards per game.
That's number 1.
That's numero uno in the National Football League. Red zone scoring, they 50%. That's 5th in the National Football League. Let's go to the Packers' defense, right?
I'm curious now.
19 points a game.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Right? Pretty good. That's number 6 in the National Football League. Pretty good, all right? 314 yards per game. That's number 5 in the National Football League. That's pretty good. And red zone defense, they struggling. 20%, 60%, they giving up a touchdown or a score, right? To say all of that, stop sleeping on us, man. We got a really good quarterback. We got a really good running back. We have really good playmakers around Jordan Love. We have a good offensive line, and we're playing big-time defense, and we've been playing big-time defense all year long. The first time we played y'all, it was a really good game. Y'all beat us by 1 score, right? And the thing that gives me confidence is the way y'all beat us in that first game is kind of the way y'all been beating a lot of people. So it ain't really we surprised by nothing. It's going to come down to which quarterback played the best in this football game. I like ours. They on upset alert.
Before else goes, real quick.
So James Jones says the Eagles are on upset alert. And, I mean, there are so many factors to this game. As I said already, which Packers team is going to show up because they've hurt themselves so much, so often in the past few games. And in that Vikings game, the first few series, first half, it was just ugly football. And that is, the one thing that, if you had a concern about this Packers team, which everyone's been talking about, is they have struggled against some of the better teams in the NFL. So you could say, well, they've struggled against some of the best teams. They've been close in a lot of them. Why do you think they could beat this Eagles team? And I really do think, the Eagles with that pressure as a number 2 seed, you're expected to win. You're expected to show up and play great. And so in a sense, I think you could have more to lose just where the expectations are right now, because I think a lot of people would say, even like last year before the games, like if the Packers lose, the Cowboys were better. They had a better offense, better defense all year. This year, the numbers are similar, but based on the past couple weeks, it feels like people are lower on the Packers just because of how they've showed up. But I don't think that we can just assume that what the Packers did against the Vikings is going to happen here, because if they don't, Josh Jacobs doesn't fumble to start the game like he did early in the Vikings game, if the Packers don't have a, silly illegal formation penalty early in that one, takes away a first down. Another holding penalty takes away Josh Jacobs' rushing touchdown. There were so many silly Packers mistakes, which if they showed up here, obviously that's not good. But if the Packers can play much cleaner football and, show up in the way that I think they really can, the ability they have, I think they can win this game. So I'm on James Jones' side on this one. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you want more Packers content, feel free to subscribe and turn on the post notifications so you don't miss any Packers content. And I will see you guys next time.